I woke up much later than normal the next day thanks to my midnight snack. Today's another rest day. I don't really feel like going out, but I'm not in the mood to laze about all day either. I'll just go check on Mr. Bandages. I asked a servant to show me the way to his room. I might have been bored, but I wasn't in the mood to get lost. I entered his room to see the Count already standing next to his bed. Mr. Bandage's eyes flicked to me and then he scowled.
Not another one.
Be nice.
Bite me.
Is that an offer?
I'm cursed, aren't I? That's the only explanation.
Am I interrupting something?
Nothing important, I assure you.
My rest! Both of you are interrupting my rest!
Like I said, nothing important.
Mr. Wolf chose that moment to enter the room.
I guess everyone else thought to check on you too, Mr. Bandages.
He let out an exaggerated groan.
Why don't you people leave me alone?
Because you shouldn't have to be alone when you're sick.
What if I want to be alone?
Mr. Wolf looked away before changing the subject.
You know, I didn't notice before, but this room is bigger than mine.
Naturally.
It needs to fit his ego, after all.
Any response Mr. Bandages would have given was cut off by a knock at the door.
That must be lunch.
Mr. Wolf opened the door and a servant wheeled in a cart filled with more food than Mr. Bandages could eat, sick or not.
That's way too much for you to eat alone. So we'll join you.
You did this, didn't you?
No. Why would I do a thing like that?
The Count took a plate from the tray, placed some food on it, and handed it to a glaring Mr. Bandages. Then the Count turned to look at us.
Isn't anyone else going to eat?
Mr. Bandages, would...
I don't care. This is enough for me.
Taking that as permission, we each grabbed a plate and started piling food on. We had just finished eating when the tone for an announcement played.
Good day, everyone! It is I, your host.
Who did he think we were expecting?
People have been complaining about me making changes. Changes they wanted, mind you. So I have come to a few decisions. The next 2 days will be tasks like the original ones. There will no longer be the option of skipping them and receiving points. There will then be a rest day and 2 more tasks. And the day after will be our grand masquerade ball, and the winning team will be announced. Those are my terms. I promise that they won't be changed, and that this problem will never come up in this event again. That is all. Thank you!
The tone signaling the end of the announcement played.
There. Aren't you glad? No more skipping and...
Don't tell me you missed what he...
Oh no. I caught that, but there's nothing we...
Like hell there isn't!
Calm down. This isn't good for your health.
How do you expect me to be calm after that?
After what? Erik just laid out the rules.
He promised this problem will never come up again.
So?
Erik would never promise something like that unless he was completely sure of it.
And there's only one way he could be sure it would never happen. By making it impossible.
So, what you're saying is that he's not going to have any more of these events?
Exactly!
So we won't be able to come here and spend time like this next year.
Forget that! I still haven't won!
Mr. Bandages stood up and walked towards the door. Where do you think you're going?
I'm going to confront Erik. There's no way I'm just going to sit here and do nothing while he...
You heard him. His decision has been made. There's nothing we can do.
Like hell there isn't!
Calm down! You're going to...
I'm going to confront Erik and you can't stop me!
He flung open the door and stalked out.
Mr. Bandages, wait up!
Mr. Wolf hurried after him. I guess we should help Mr. Wolf make sure Mr. Bandages doesn't overexert himself.
I'll leave that to the two of you.
You're not coming with us?
I have better things to do than watch him throw a hissy fit.
I shrugged and left the room, not wanting to lose track of Mr. Bandages and Mr. Wolf. Thankfully, they didn't get far because Mr. Wolf was trying to pull Mr. Bandages back to the room. do you know where we're going?
Of course I do!
So, why have we passed that same vase twice?
It's not the same vase, it's just similar.
No, I'm pretty sure it's the same one. It's got a bit of a crack running down.
Mr. Wolf cut himself off when he saw the murderous look on Mr. Bandage's face. I'm just going to go ask that servant for directions.
Don't you dare!
I ignored him and walked up to the servant. Hi, could you take us to Mr. Valdemar's room?
Guests are not allowed in his room.
We won't go in. We just want to see where it is. Please.
Okay, follow me.
I turned back to Mr. Bandages. Now, you can either come with me or keep going around in circles. Your call.
Fine.
We followed the servant through the halls until we came to an ornate door.
This leads to Master Valdemar's private quarter.
Hey, Erik, get out here right now!
Mr. Bandage's shout attracted the attention of another servant.
Master Valdemar isn't in there right now.
Then where the hell is he?
I'm not sure.
Then find him and bring him to me.
Maybe we should come back later.
No, I'm not leaving until I get a chance to tell Erik what I think about his latest announcement.
Sir, please calm down.
I will not calm down!
Really, Mr. Bandages, I'm starting to think the only reason you attend is to harass my staff.
We turned to see Erik Valdemar walking toward us while tying his cape. He took his mask from his butler and put it on before turning to face us again.
Now, what was it that was so important that you felt the need to shout outside my door?
What do you think you're doing?
Well, I was taking a nap in the gardens before you so rudely started shouting.
That's not what I meant, and you know it! That announcement!
Oh, that?
Yes, that. Did you really think I'd take that lying down?
As hard as this may be for you to believe, this has nothing to do with you.
The hell it doesn't! I've yet to win any of these silly games!
If they're so silly, then you should be glad that you won't have to suffer through another year of them. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have other things to do.
He turned on his heel and walked away, but Mr. Bandages wouldn't have it. He strode after Erik.
Don't you dare walk away from me while I'm talking to you!
Mr. Wolf and I exchanged a worried look before hurrying to catch up with the two taller men.
I don't see what we still have to discuss. I've made my decision. And if you're so determined to win at least once, then you should focus on that, not me. This is your last chance, after all.
Erik took a turn into one of the halls, and the heads of the occupants all swerved toward us.
Don't think I'm dropping this just because you decided to make it public.
You made it public with all your shouting. I'm simply attending to my duties as host.
He began his descent down the stairs to the hall as though this was nothing out of the ordinary. Mr. Bandages stopped at the top of the stairs, so Mr. Wolf and I did as well.
Drop this idiotic act and just listen to me for once!
Erik froze, not even halfway down the stairs. After a moment, he squared his shoulders and turned around to face Mr. Bandages. The entire hall seemed to be holding their breath in anticipation of Erik's response. When he did speak, his voice was low and controlled.
You.
People leaned in closer as they strained to hear what he was saying. A sudden jostle caused me to lose my balance. As I started falling, time seemed to slow down to the point where I could see Erik's eyes widen. The next thing I knew, he was catching me in his arms. Before I could even feel an ounce of relief, I felt Erik shift. He was taking a step back to compensate for the momentum, but there was no floor behind him. His action had us both falling downwards. I closed my eyes and braced myself, only to have them fly open when I felt my face collide with a hard object. Erik's face. For a moment, I was too shocked to even realize we had stopped falling. Erik didn't seem to have the same problem, though, as he turned his head to face our savior, his butler.
Impeccable timing, as always.
Do be careful, Master Valdemar.
Erik looked down at me questioningly.
Are you okay, Miss Archer?
Apart from the pain in the jaw, yeah.
I am terribly sorry about that.
The sound of people murmuring brought our attention to the fact that his arms were still loosely wrapped around me. Eric abruptly let go of me and turned to face his butler fully.
Please see to it that these stairs are redone or hire an exorcist. That's the 5th time I've almost tumbled down them this month. There's no way that's normal.
Of course, Master Valdemar.
A worried Mr. Wolf made his way to us.
Are you okay, Miss Archer?
Yeah, my jaw's just a bit sore, that's all.
You should probably get that checked out. Mr. Bandages, you know where the on-site doctor is, right? I mean, you were just there recently thanks to your swim in the lake. Would you take her there?
Do it yourself, you're the host.
I would, but I have other matters to see to. Still, if you're adamant about not doing it, I can just get one of my staff to do so. I just thought you might want to, seeing as this only happened because you were throwing a tantrum.
I'll go. I need to pick up some more pain relievers anyway.
Then it's settled. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll take my leave.
Mr. Wolf and I followed Mr. Bandages through the corridors until we reached a sliding door.
This is the on-site doctor's office.
Having said that, he opened the door and walked inside.
I'm here for pain meds.
I thought you were only coming for those later.
I was, but then Miss Archer fell down the stairs, so I figured I'd just kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
The doctor immediately ushered me into the room and onto one of the beds.
Where does it hurt? Did you hit your head?
My
pain meds.
The doctor shoved a container in Mr. Bandage's hand and shoved him out the door.
Right. Now, you were saying?
I'm fine, it's just my jaw that's a bit sore.
She fell and kissed Mr. Valdemar.
Oh my.
Kissed?
Yeah, your lips met and...
Most painful kiss I've ever had.
Right. Well, it doesn't sound like anything too bad. Still, to be on the safe side, you should probably stay here for a while. As for you, Mr. Wolf, is it? Unless you have any injuries, it may be best that you leave Miss Archer to get some rest.
Oh, okay. Feel better soon, Miss Archer.
I'll try to. The doctor handed me a tablet and some water.
This should help with the pain.
Thanks. I downed the medication before snuggling under the covers and falling asleep. When I woke up, the first thing I noticed was the Count reading in a chair by my bedside. The second thing I noticed was that the doctor wasn't in the room. Where?
He's off searching for Eric. Someone let slip that he also fell down those stairs.
Wait. How do you know about that?
Gossip travels fast. I hear that you kissed Eric, and I missed it. I almost regret not tagging along. So, how was it?
How was what?
The kiss.
Is that what people are calling it?
Isn't that what it was? Your lips met and...
Yeah, they met. They met hard. I may as well have collided with the floor. His head was certainly hard enough.
I take it that you didn't enjoy it then.
Would you enjoy smashing your face into a hard object?
I guess not. Well, consider it a learning experience.
What? Collisions hurt?
No. Chasing after Eric will only get you hurt.
I wasn't chasing after him. I wouldn't throw myself down the stairs for any guy, no matter how hot he is. He let out a low chuckle.
The other day you said he was creepy, and now he's hot.
Those are not mutually exclusive. He can be hot and creepy. Although, I don't quite think of him as creepy anymore.
Because he saved you from plummeting down the stairs?
No, not just that.
Oh?
I met him. He wasn't quite what I expected.
Oh, how so?
He wasn't the flashy guy that did the opening speech. He was more... real. I kinda like the guy behind the mask. He kind of reminded me of you, though.
I'm honored to be compared to the great Eric Valdemar.
You're doing that again.
Doing what?
hiding behind a mask. Why did the two of you do it? For a moment, he looked at me inquisitively. Then he leaned in close and whispered softly in my ear.
Sometimes it's easier to be someone you're not than be rejected for who you are.
With that, he got up with a huge smile on his face.
I'm glad you're feeling better, Miss Archer. Please don't take any more tumbles downstairs. Although, if you really want to throw yourself at a man, I'll be happy to welcome you with open arms. Now, I'll leave you to rest before the doctor returns and kicks me out. Hello, Miss Archer. I take it that you've been enjoying your time here. If that's the case, I'm glad. As for myself, I'm doing quite fine actually, having some fun here and there. However, lately I've been thinking more about you, being in my arms. Over time, What I'm saying is that I'm beginning to... You've made me feel things that I never thought I'd felt before. However, now that the more I think about you, I want to... Nevertheless, you make me feel that I can really open up to others. Or rather, you for that fact. To keep it short, I really do value the time we spend together. Oh, by the way, how could I forget? Will you be my Valentine? Trust me, it's not to get Mr. Bandages jealous or anything, I really do want to spend more time with you. Happy Valentine's Day. Sincerely yours forever, the Count.
Let's go.